Life is so far away, but we'll make it one day. Every night that I pray, I just lay there.
What up, you know what's up, it's Don the 7. Before this video gets started, guys, I just wanted to quickly mention, I understand that this video is a day late because it's just been absolutely hectic on my end, and it has been really hard to create content because now we're back in a basically full swing lockdown due to the rising cases in BC. School is ramping up because I'm coming into my last few weeks of this term. I'm actually in a class right now, but I'm kind of off to the side. I'm not really a part of it right now, so I'm sneaking away to make this video for you guys because I realize I'm a day behind. Another thing about that is I'm also going to try out different posting schedules to see what kind of works for me for the rest of the year. It's getting really difficult, obviously, because I've been working on all the songs that are going to go out on Apple Music and Spotify, which there's a couple now. It's getting rather hectic, and I'm doing my best to keep on being in a routine to post for you guys, so on the off chance that I do forget to promote one day because of how hectic things are, you at least know when it comes out. So I'm doing my best. Yeah, so let's get right into today's video. Today is going to be another one of 7 song stories. Gosh, that sounds like a tongue twister if you say it a couple times fast, hey? This one's going to be about Our Piece of Heaven. Now, the reason why I'm choosing this one is because one of my professors, Mr. Tim Steinruck, the head man to the band The Mighty One, he's an amazing vocalist, great guitar player, and an amazing person to talk to through my school, and he's been here a lot for me. He took a liking to this one song, and he gave me some tips on the last 7 song stories video, so I really want to do this one for him. So Tim, if you're watching, thank you for everything you've been doing and giving me advice on my channel and my music as well, so thank you very much. Our Piece of Heaven was written originally, the first few takes of Our Piece of Heaven were written in 2019. It was one of those songs where it was so hard for me to write that it went through like 5 different revisions of the song, and none of which got recorded because I really wanted to get it right. I really wanted to make sure that the song was doing justice for what it's about. So it got written originally when I was in the same basement suite where I wrote Dear Mama, the last one that was 7 song stories. I took a break from it because it was too hard for me to write, and I didn't really feel like I was doing it enough justice. And then as I got a little more experience with my second EP drop, I actually started releasing and building a little bit of a name for myself as a starting artist. When I finally got my own equipment, that was when I finished writing that song. I did the 2 verses and found somebody to sing the hook, who I've done collabs with many times since, but that was the first time we ever did a collaboration. That's kind of like the short version of how it was written. There's not really much to tell about it because where I was at when I was writing it was more so just feeling like I needed to do justice what I was talking about. And that being said, what it's about, in the summer of 2018, I lost somebody for the first time. We were on and off friends throughout a couple of years of our lives, and she was an amazing person. She was a great actress, she was a great singer, she was a great friend, always lit up a room. She was a great person to just have around. Like, she was that kind of person where it was like if you wanted some joy brought into your life and some room, she was the first person that you thought of. I hate using the word was, but unfortunately, like I said, I did lose her. It was the summer of 2018, and I was at work. I got a phone call from my buddy, and I answered, and I was all in a good mood, and he says, I guess you haven't heard then, right? And I said, no. What are you talking about? And he says, well, I'm not going to drop names, but she passed away last night. And I said, well, how? And she said she was in the back seat of a car, and they missed a turn, and they went over an embankment, and she died in that car crash. But she was the only one that passed away. She was, I think she was 16 at the time, so that was really, really hard. Obviously nobody should die from that period, but especially at such a young age, it was a horrible thing. It was the first experience that I had with any of my friends dying, and I got to come by it honestly, probably for the 3 months prior to her passing away. We weren't really tight, we didn't really talk, and then all of a sudden it was just like boom, she was gone, and I never got to fully explain how much I appreciated her. That really hit home for me, and at the time I was dating a girl, and so I was at work and I just told my bosses, I said, look, like, I just lost somebody for the first time in my life. I was 17 years old, and I really just need to go home. And I was in tears, of course, and they were like, whatever you need to do, like, do it, right? Just take the day, go home, relax, get some sleep, right? So I ended up going to my girlfriend's house at the time and just broke down in her room. Like, I didn't even know what to think of it. and I started making phone calls to some of my buddies who I knew were also close with her. You know, I said, where did it happen? And I'm trying to not expose too much personal information just out of respect for the family, because it has been almost 3 years now. So we ended up going up to the crash site, and you know, at the time there were just people laying down flowers at the embankment, and I just sat there and I really couldn't believe it. Like, you could just tell that it was a horrible crash. You couldn't imagine how her family felt, right? And so over time, I made more friends who were close with her, because obviously throughout the next coming weeks or so, you find people who were also close with her and make connections out of that. And you know, I did what I could as well, and eventually I got to, you know, finally meet her family, told my stories of her, and they told me stories of her. And over time I just sort of grew apart from the family after the mourning period kind of faded out, right? About a month later, you know, remember that when somebody passes, they don't want you to mourn them for the rest of your life. They want you to succeed and be happy, right? It's never going to be the same, but they do want you to move on, right? That's one of the biggest things with losing somebody, is you have to remember that they do want you to continue to thrive in your life as well. That's kind of the abouts of that one. What it meant then, I just went kind of over that. What it meant was I was trying to bring light to how amazing she was, how awesome of a person she was, and really just explain the details of, if you were at a party, she was the first person you noticed because her smile was contagious, or you know, you would admire the fact that she was so passionate about theater and acting, and you know, she was a great singer, great dancer, and she was always just a really amazing person around. So I wanted to do justice for that, and that's what it meant to me then. It really was more so of just critiquing myself, saying I didn't do enough, I didn't write enough, I didn't bring enough light to the situation, right? How it got recorded, I just recorded it at my house on my first setup. It was like a $500 setup to start. It was tiny, and I literally just had like an I/O and a microphone and my laptop into GarageBand, so there wasn't really anything special about how it got recorded. There was a couple of my friends were there when it got recorded because they knew her as well, and then the collaboration, her best friend was really close with the person we lost, so she was also there for it and did her vocal takes, and she's an absolutely amazing singer, so she really helped me bring the mood into the song as well. Where it got recorded was my house in Ridge, just with a couple of people. What happened after, people didn't really understand who it was about until the time came of like the anniversary, because it got recorded in 2019, so it was almost a full year later that it got recorded. It was released I think in like April of 2019, and then when the anniversary of her death came around, and I posted the song with a picture of her and said, "We miss you every day." What it means to me now, this is a bit crazy. So that song, after that picture and that post, blew up in a sense, and as a upcoming artist. It got like over 1,000 plays in about 2 months or so, because people finally figured out who it was about and the appreciation for it. People really started to take me serious then, because they realized that my music was more than diss tracks or some guy screwing around on SoundCloud with a microphone. They realized that I actually meant what I was doing, because you don't just write a song like that if you're just screwing around. You write it because you're serious, right? And what happened afterwards was I actually got in a huge accident with my Jeep. My Jeep caught on fire, and it was like pulled over to the side of the road, and the only reason why I was alive was because someone was like flashing their high beams behind me and honking and stuff, and so I pulled over to see what they wanted, and they said like, "Get out, your car's on fire." And at that point the smoke started bellowing into the cab and out of the hood and everything, so we got out. The whole thing burnt down with a lot of it inside. At the time, a lot of my friends were still close, or were close with the person who had passed, and they said like, "Man, she's watching over you, like the fire chief told you how lucky you were to be alive, she's watching over you." It just really hit home. It's like, you know, as a person who believes in a higher power, you obviously take that stuff and be like, whoa, like maybe she is watching over me, like she's watching over all of us, you know, she doesn't want anything bad to happen to any of us. That song, by doing what I felt did justice for her and explaining who she was in a 4-minute song, I felt maybe we had made her proud, and we had done justice by her and explained to people who may not have known her who she was. I'm sure other people may have done it better, but I expressed it in my way, and I was happy with the outcome of the song, and I still am to this day. It's still growing, not very rapidly, obviously, because it's been almost 2 years since the song is released. I think it has been 2 years now. That's what the song meant to me and means to me, and where it was written, all that kind of stuff. This was another 7-song stories. As I said before the video started, I just want to clarify that I'm going to try my best to get a good schedule going. Again, it's been really difficult with how busy I am, but I'll be doing my best to get a good schedule going so you guys know what's up and you know when things are coming out, so I don't always have to promote it, and if I am a little late, you guys already know that it's coming. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do the usual: like, sub, comment, and share. And as always, this has been Don the 7, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.
Why'd it have to end like this? All these kids that you touched, it's too much, it crushed us. You were such an inspiration to us all. Picked us up when we fell, brought us all up out of hell. Even your voice on a phone call, you saw a future that we could not. You were a blessing, that's why I'm addressing you to the people who knew exactly what you went through. And you will show them what to do from afar.